Hey, remember me? Kevin Johnson here. I am finally getting around to doing a follow-up to my Silent Night video. That one I posted in 2007, I think, and a lot of people have said very nice things about it. It's an easy arrangement of a nice song that's really popular, and it's very approachable, very attainable to most guitarists who are doing any fingerstyle playing at all. It's within reach. So it's been really popular, and I've had a lot of people saying, thanks, this is great, but we can't see what you're doing with your right hand. So I'm going to fix that. I'm going to do a follow-up video right now showing close-ups, a couple of angles of my right hand and what I'm doing. And the first, I just wanted to give you a quick little primer on right hand technique, just explaining what it is. You've got your pinky is kind of not in the game. It's just going to be there. Just try to let it hang loose, okay? Don't pull it up back out of the way on purpose. It's short enough, it won't get in the way if you're doing it right. You should keep your wrist, let me get situated here. You should keep your wrist fairly straight, I need to, hang on a second here, let me adjust there we go, okay. So, when I'm playing, you can see that I'm not turning my wrist like this. This is not a good idea. A lot of players do this, but it's usually because they're holding the guitar a little bit too parallel to the floor. If you're sitting properly with your leg propped up, I got a footstool over here and propping my left foot up. The guitar is resting there, and on the inside of my right knee, right thigh, the guitar is balanced. I'm not having to hold on to it. Okay, that's what you want. So, because your hands have other things to do besides hold the guitar. Okay, so if you will position yourself like this so that it's just balanced and comfortable, and your right hand should hit the strings right behind the sound hole. This is just general, okay? It's going to move depending on the tone you're trying to produce. But you're going to use your thumb on the bass strings, okay? Your E, A, and D, and then your fingers 1, 2, and 3 are going to cover the remaining strings. Okay? So now when you play let me show you this. When you're playing fingerstyle, when you strike the string, you don't want your knuckles to rise like that. Okay, that's because what happens then is you're pulling the string up and letting it slap back down. Letting it slap down like a rubber band. That's not good. What you're doing is you want to move the string sideways toward the next string, and then when you release it, it's not going to slap the frets first before actually giving you the note. That's what we're trying to avoid. You don't want this. You want some nice warm round tone, right? So you need to leave enough room under your hand that there's room for your finger. You want your knuckle to go straight like that. You don't want it to come up like this. This is wrong, this is right, okay? And with your thumb, you're going to kind of use the side of your thumb, like the corner of your thumbnail, basically, because you don't want your thumb to ever cross underneath your index finger. Let me see. That would be bad. This is good. Okay, it's going to be like you're doing the Bill Clinton holding a document to somebody kind of a gesture. That's or like you're holding a pick if you're a pick player. So like that, not like this. Okay, very important. So once you got that all situated, your wrist is straight and comfortable, not bowed out too much like that, but definitely not down like that either. You want it to be just like you're making a fist, a really, really tight fist. Your wrist alignment when you're making the tightest fist you can make, that's the right wrist alignment for playing guitar. Generally speaking, okay? So you can just kind of see how I'm just going to do an arpeggio on a C major chord. Okay, and I know that from this angle, from what you told me before, you can't see what I'm doing, which is why I'm going to make this follow-up with different angles. But I want you to see that if you're doing it right, that's the case. And let me play it wrong so you can see the difference. Alright, I don't want to... One thing, if your wrist is resting on the guitar, this is a soundboard. If you restrict the vibration of the soundboard, you're killing the sound of your guitar. You're reducing your volume and your tone. I don't know if you can tell. aside from the physical difficulty of playing this way. So, you know, you should make contact with the guitar here with your arm, and that's it. The rest of it should just be fingers on strings and nothing else. Don't touch the soundboard because it kills your sound. Okay, so now I am going to walk you through the Silent Night again. I'm not going to go into as much detail because I've done that in the other video, but I'm going to talk about just the right hand so you can see what my fingers are doing. Okay, so here's one angle. You should be able to see which finger is moving when. Right now, what I do when I start is I plant all of my fingers on the strings that they're going to play, like so. These three are on strings 1, 2, and 3, right? And my thumb is on the bass strings there. Okay. And I don't know if you can tell which finger is moving when. Let me try to exaggerate the movements a little bit. The D7 in the 5th position, and that's not a strum, that's a roll. What I'm doing is I'm planting all 4 fingers, my thumb and 3 fingers, and I'm firing them off one at a time in rapid succession, so it sounds like a strum. And the reason you do that instead of strumming is a strum takes your hand completely out of position and then you have to come back. But if you do this, you're still where you need to be. Okay, now the C major. Okay. So that's 2 fingers and 1 finger. And that roll, since you've got 6 strings to hit and only, you know, a thumb and 3 fingers that you're using, your thumb is going to strum through 3 bass strings, and then your other fingers cover the other 3 strings. So, like that. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to do a different angle, so hopefully you can see the fingers even more closely. Alright, now I've balanced my camera on on the bout of my guitar, and I hope it doesn't fall. It's just sitting there, so cross your fingers, wish me luck. So I'm going to go through the same thing very slowly, piece by piece. Thing I do there, the difference between a rest stroke and a free stroke It has more to do with the angle that the string is released, the direction the string moves once it comes off of your finger, than it does anything else. But you tend to get, typically you get louder attack, more volume, a little rounder tone with a rest stroke. And all that is you're pushing the string in, and as your finger goes sideways, the string should slip out from under your nail, as opposed to your typical free stroke. So if I want to accent that high C on the 8th fret, so here's the D7, right? There you go. I hope that's helpful. Please ask me questions in the comment section if you have them. And I know that my website, I don't have a web guy. I'm trying to do it myself, and I'm not any good at it. So a lot of the files that I've uploaded, people have trouble downloading them for some reason, and I have not yet figured out what the problem is. So once I do, you'll be able to download the Tablature again. If you're working on this, you need the tab, and you can't get it, just send me a message. I don't mind emailing files to people. It's so easy to do, and if you're wanting to work on my arrangement, I'm flattered, and I'm happy to send you the document. So if you need the tab, just shoot me a message and ask for it, okay? And include your email address in that message so that I know who to send it to. Okay, great. Now go practice, and Merry Christmas.